All right, just got done watching the movie Mank, starring Gary Oldman, 2020, Netflix by our friend David Fincher, who is a really he's a really good filmmaker. This movie Mank, this is just a raw review here. I'm a little disappointed by it, and I'm going to explain why I feel that way. Um, to begin with, I do like the movie Citizen Kane, and I really like everyone who worked on that film. And Mank is one of the writers of that film. So this movie is about his life, Herman Mankiewicz. While watching the movie, I was just really struck by the sound quality, and that's something that I like how it sounds if it was a podcast production or a radio theater production where there was no visual. I think it works really well. The pacing of the dialogue, the music, it all sounds like something you'd hear in like a podcast staged play or something. It's kind of strange though, too, because there's this, when you're watching it, to me, there's this distance from the visual image and from the audio. It just seems like they're dubbing it or it's being voiceovered. I don't know. It just looks weird when it's combined with the cinematography of it. I think the cinematography it just seems a little too contrasty. I mean, the whole look of the movie, it kind of reminds me if you had an antique chair and you like spray painted it with some new spray paints to make it look old, but it's kind of like a refurbished piece of furniture. There's parts about it that look old, but there's also this strange kind of glossiness to it that remind you that, oh yeah, this is a newer type of movie. I don't know why they didn't just go with a really old stock film. It was probably because they had a lot of digital effects in the background. But it just kind of looks weird. It kind of sounds odd. And I think my favorite technical part about the movie is the transitions where they dim the lights down and do things like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I was really disappointed by it because I was really expecting an in-depth story directed by David Fincher, and I think written by his father, which is in the script. Based on a true story, based on a real person and the making of, just this guy's life. And I think, maybe it's just disappointing because his life was kind of disappointing in a way. I mean, most of it is him being drunk or trying to recover after being drunk and mumbling about stuff and talking about politics, talking about communism, talking about America, talking about Republicans, Democrats, things that honestly at this point, it's the year 2020. We had an election here in the United States. It's kind of tiring to hear about politics in a movie that's based in like 1940s, talking about the guy who wrote Citizen Kane. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I'm really more interested in his working with Orson Welles and how he interacts with the studio. Houseman, I'm interested in his interaction with Houseman, how they're able to get this movie made. But this kind of just focuses mostly on the character Mank being drunk at parties and saying things to make people uncomfortable. It almost seems like there's no drama at all. Everything's really safe. It's all looks like a play. It's all staged like a play. Seems like they really wanted to mimic Citizen Kane and that whole style that movie was made, how that movie was made and shot. I don't know. It's very strange. This is just my opinion. Maybe I don't understand the story. Maybe I am missing the point. Maybe I'm looking at it in a wrong perspective, but this is me reacting to this film I was expecting something really good, and there's just a lot of drunkenness in this film that doesn't leave a very good impression. I don't feel like I know Mank as much as I'd like to. Maybe this was his personality. Maybe this is what he was like as a person. I don't know. It's kind of sad. But it is what it is. Overall, the film, I like that they took some risks in the way they filmed it and the audio. I just don't think it landed as good as it could have been. The editing is my favorite part. The transitions from shot to shot, scene to scene. Overall, I'm going to give this a score 6 out of 10. Let me know what you think about it in the comments.